I'd like to call the August 14th Forster Town Council meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, it's Jones, yeah. Or maybe what?
Yeah, we just, which is good. All right, I don't have any announcements. So go to public comment. Mr. Barkan?
Hi, my name's George Barkin. I live at 111 Danielson Pike in Forster, Rhode Island. A few weeks ago, I had while walking my dog, I had a conversation with Mr. Rogers, the head of the Public Works Department, and he informed me of a strong possibility of the council banning dogs from the town recreational fields Situate had recently done. I asked the reason for this, to which he explained that people are not cleaning up after their dogs. I informed him that I always picked up after my dog, to which he replied he knew watching the security cameras. At this point, frustrated, I asked why he hadn't taken down the license plates and videos and supplied it to the police. He explained to me that he didn't have time or the inclination to do so. He explained that his workers didn't like cleaning up after the people left the droppings too. To this, I can understand their frustrations and mine. It's a sad commentary on the society that we have come to, that almost no one takes care and responsibility for their actions for themselves and their animals. But my point is this: yes, this is another problem that should not have to be addressed, but soon it may be. My request is this: please don't ban the dogs from the recreational parks. Instead, make an ordinance imposing stiff fines on the owners, fines of $250 for the first, $500 for the second, and so on. Imposing fines on the owners, fines of $250, 500 or more on the second offense, or impose a service charge to be leveled against them for 4 hours of overtime to be paid to the public works employees for cleaning up after the dog, since this is not a normal service provided by the town. I believe Mr. Rogers won't have to watch video very much longer once the word gets out of the ordinance. Also, I'm thinking the workers may not mind providing a little extra time for 4 hours overtime. I know this is a distasteful and subject for all the town employees, and no one wants to have to deal with it. But I was a municipal worker myself, and oftentimes are called upon to handle situations that weren't in the job description. That's life you deal with to keep your job. My final point is this: I've lived in Forster close to 40 years now. I paid taxes these nearly 40 years. I walk my dog pretty much every morning in the parking area behind home plate, or in the parking lot. I don't, nor do I allow my dog to go on the fields. I hope you address this specific problem and not impose a blanket policy which will impose penalties on everyone. Consider the fact that there are already signs for no dogs or vehicles on the fields now, which are not observed. I've never stood in front of this body or made any requests of this council. Walking my dog is one of the few enjoyments I have at this point in my life. It is not safe to walk on the roadways anymore because people lack the attention and I lack the agility to do it. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter.
Thank you.
I take copies. I just studied.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Franco? Oh, no, I'm just calling the next person up. Thank you.
Hi, Denise DeFranco, 109 Central Pike. First, I want to state that I've been planning on coming to tonight's meeting to voice my concerns. I had no idea that old business number one was going to be a topic. I'm not here for that reason. My concerns are not related at all. There was a dwelling fire on Forster Center Road this a couple of weeks ago. 8 driveways down from Forster Center. 1 truck came from Forster Center. It was a tanker. The other vehicles sat in the station. I understand volunteers are a rare commodity here, and I certainly appreciate all they have. I thought maybe it was a fluke that only one person showed up from that station. I went back and I looked at I requested the stipends. And there are 3 people who have requested stipends since December to June. And one of those people had left Station 3. My concern is I live in Station 3's district. I'm not 8 driveways down. Although with only one vehicle showing up, I don't think that would make much of a difference. My concerns are that we do not appear to be getting the bang for our buck as far as Station 3 is concerned. And I know sitting up there, that is a difficult task, but I hope you consider this when you're doing your budget workshops. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. McElroy?
Hi, I'm Kathy McElroy, Barb's Hill Road. The 2 things, 1 point of order, that's not the agenda that you have on the table, because the one that's up there has the business license and 2 number 4s. FYI.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't even look at
That's
that.
in front of me
So,
on the table.
I know. Sorry, but the people online are probably looking at that. And so I wanted to make a comment. I also don't know what the public safety discussion will be. But I wanted to make a comment about the financial town meeting, that money was allocated by a vote of the residents that were there to South Foster Fire Department and to EMS. I don't believe that money has been distributed yet. And I'd like to know why. Number 1, I'm sure a lot of people would like to know why. And also, if the council doesn't have to abide by what the members vote for, what the constituents vote for at that financial town meeting, then why do we have the charade of a vote at the financial town meeting? Okay, so you don't answer questions, you just, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Ryder?
Lynn Ryder, Burgess Road. My comment has to do with the request for a rubber tire excavator, and I know it's later on in the discussion, but discussions sometimes get waylaid or very convoluted, and I just wanted to bring out a couple of points. Number 1, that does not appear on the budget. When Capital Highway, it says second payment for the Hydra dig. And is Hydra dig 65K rubber tired excavator, which is all one thing, with a mower head, and the first payment of a 6-wheel dump. Nothing about a separate rubber tire excavator. Also, and I believe this is probably from last year, where a paper on capital outlay equipment. And this is what it says. DPW director requested $65,000 for a new Hydra dig excavator with a mower. First installment, so that would have been paid last year. The planning board recommended we fund this. The town is going to need a new backhoe or this piece of equipment, not and, or, due to the fact that the backhoe is out of service as much as it's in. So I am seeing, because everything gets on Facebook, that, oh, this was approved. This was approved. It was not approved. It did not come before the people at the town, the financial town meeting. It was not listed. I don't ever remember this piece of equipment ever being talked about, because it does say the Hydra dig, because that was supposed to be the be all and end all and do everything, but brush your teeth in the morning. And it's or, not and. My other thing is we always, and I'm sure it's some kind of a finance technical thing, but things are being approved when they've already been bought. You know, I mean, this says request, capital request for a rubber tire excavator. Now, from what I've heard, it's already been purchased. So, you know, things get purchased and then we ask the council. That doesn't seem like a very transparent or fair to the taxpayer way of doing things. Also with, you know, I know this is capital money. I know that capital money is for capital projects, but it's money. And we have so many other things that need capital. For example, the Woody Loudon Center, which is, you know, going to fall down. And that is an asset. I know some people want to sell it. Other people think it's one of the jewels in the crown. We do not have that much town-owned property. It's an asset. We shouldn't be selling off our assets. It's, you know, penny wise, pound foolish. And that building needs attention. You could easily spend 100,000 there of capital money just to bring it up to some kind of code. The other thing, we are asking, you know, somebody had to donate wood chips to the playground at Woody. And that's because it was going to cost $2,000. I mean, come on. That is ridiculous. And someone did step up and they did do it. Yay for them. But I think it's ridiculous that that had to be done. And the fact that we can buy this piece of equipment, which I think is 170 some odd $1,000, and yet we can't open the DPW yard for 3 Saturdays a year because we don't have the money. And I understand the difference between operating and capital. But operating is that is a fluid budget. You don't necessarily, you know, if you want something, but you need something else, then most families would go for the need and not just fulfill the want. So.
Thank you. Right. Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I want to make a motion.
I want to make an announcement.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get this thing on.
So,
You're on.
I just wanted to thank all the volunteers who showed up at that house fire on Foster Center Road last week. Station 3, Station 1, Station 2, and the DPW all showed up on that scene and saved what could have been a potentially really awful scene. So I wanted to thank all of you for that.
And
I'm sorry. Oh, Tyler, I'm sorry. You were there too. And the police department.
all set?
all right.
Okay, I want to make a motion to move number 5 under new business up before the consent agenda. That'll be the DPW capital request for a rubber tire excavator.
All right, we have a request to move number 5 from new business up above the consent agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Number 5, DPW capital request for a rubber tire excavator.
Is the public comment period over?
Yes.
Comment on agenda items as we speak about them.
Yes.
What does it pertain to? Do you see?
Yes, you can come up. Yeah, I just need you to sign in here, please.
But I am supposed to do this.
Just right before the meeting.
Over the phone? Oh, right.
Yeah, just right before the meeting.
Just
Yeah.
before the meeting.
Yep.
Van Johnson Brothers, I have the property 9 Mount Hygeia Road. I just wanted to say hello, and follow up on last meeting. I saw you folks and I've been trying to communicate with my lawyer concerning that consent decree. Was hoping that, I don't know what progress, if any, has been made, if you guys have considered it, signing off on it. I know my lawyer's been trying to communicate with the town solicitor.
Can I hold you there for a second? Joanna, is this something that needs to be an executive session or is this okay?
Well,
I just want to make sure.
We just can't comment on it.
so I mean, I guess you can say whatever you'd like in public comment, but we can't, the council can't respond, and it is technically litigation, so you're entitled to have any discussions in executive session, so.
Well, I guess I'd just like to, I feel like I hope I'm in and have satisfied it. I invite you folks to go there, look at the property and make that judgment for yourself. And I don't know what the next step is. Like I say, I've been trying to get my lawyer to work with, I guess you, and whatever the next step is, make it, because this consent decree is nothing but a boil in the face of progress for me, and I need to get rid of it to move on. So that's all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, I apologize. We're back to capital requests. I just want to confirm that it was on the capital request.
We're here to discuss that piece of equipment because I don't know enough about it, but yes, that's the excavator.
Okay,
that he
just wanna make sure.
referred To at this time meeting, based
Okay.
on conversations I've had with him,
Okay,
but again, but yeah.
Mr. Rogers?
Oh.
So I just have one question.
Yep, always question.
So the rubber tired excavator,
Yep.
was that on the capital request?
Yes, it was a 2-year expenditure and we had the second payment available as of July 1st, yes.
Okay,
And it was approved by the planning board and at the financial town meeting.
Town council, financial town meeting, everything correct.
okay.
I also
All right,
want to clarify too, that we have had occasions where different piece of equipment has taken precedence over something that was budgeted. And you can and have in the past changed that piece of equipment that you purchased with the allotment of cash that's been. He's managing that capital, but you still have to approve it.
It's self right,
Right.
right.
But I thought,
Well-
I believe a hydro dig is like
The rubber, that's what I was just wanting to confirm.
correct.
It's,
Hydro
It's,
dig,
it's the same machine.
yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. So we're gonna do a motion first and then we'll have discussion. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the DPW capital request of a rubber tire excavator.
So moved.
Second, anybody? All right, we got a motion and a second. Now discussion.
I'm just not sure why we're doing this. It was approved at the financial town meeting. It's in the capital. I mean, if we just have to approve the purchase,
we always
Yeah, I
approve
think-
the purchase as it takes place.
okay.
Especially because something like this would be bid, this purchase. If you looked at the data, which I'm assuming you did, like there was a MPH, there's
The MPH,
a
yep.
number on it, which means that they've already gone through a bidding
Yes.
process. So we're following, even though we didn't put out an RFP, we try to follow as many of the procedures as possible.
So we can do the MPA.
Well, they are part of a consortium. the
Right.
Massachusetts, we've done, we can piggyback other municipalities.
And we do that with paving as well.
So, right. So
And-
in this case,
Okay, so it's a perfectly,
Purchasing.
yes,
process,
and
not
it's a perfectly
necessarily-
legal thing and we're not circumventing a bidding process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
not.
All right, Ms. Ryder?
My question again is if this, is there already a hydro dig sitting in the yard?
So it's my understanding, because as you know, I'm out on medical
Been
leave.
out, yeah.
And even if I wasn't, I wouldn't know what a hydro dig was. So, it is my understanding that the company has agreed to let them use it. We have not issued them a check. We have not done any of this because if they don't, knowing that this was the process, because the loader that they needed for the project that they're working on died. So they're using it, and if they don't like it, they're gonna have to pay some sort of rental fee versus like applying this towards the purchase.
According to the budget, you already paid the first payment last year. And
No,
this
no,
year was
no,
the second
no.
year.
No,
That's what the.
no.
It was just allocated.
The first
It
payment.
was just allocated.
We don't actually, we didn't spend any of it. And the
Right.
money rolls over until the project is complete or considered released.
So why isn't this?
We have the money, it's carried. Capital is the only thing that carries.
Right, I know.
Year to year, so
We
put-
do that with rescues and everything and fire trucks, yes.
We have, I want to say 600 or more, $700,000 for the engineering for the next truck. And we
Yes.
save for the first installment, for the second installment. We don't buy it until we have all the money. Right? So, yeah.
This is
So
the first time this has been described as a rubber tire excavator, if it is indeed the same piece of equipment.
during our planning, I believe that's the only reason I knew that this was true, because during one of our planning board meetings, I want to say it was last year's, not this past one, the year before, when they actually were talking about this piece of equipment. They were talking about, I know Anthony Renzi brought up a mower head or a
Right.
different piece that would go with it because of, at that point, if you're gonna invest in that, and whether they think he needs that or not, it was at that point that it was discussed as a rubber tired excavator. or
It
whatever.
was, it's listed on the capital outlay,
Yeah.
equipment.
I
But
mean,
if it-
after the Hydra dig was such a big flop, we looked at, as far as the wording, remember the hydro versus hydra, because
Mhm.
again, I'm an accountant, not really, I don't know about the equipment. We just started referring to it as something slightly different.
well, this year's budget is referred to as a hydro dig.
Yeah, because I corrected it, but in language, when we speak about it, it's like, I know that it's been spoken of before as during budget meetings and stuff like that, it's rubber tire. Because I've heard the expression when he was talking about it, I knew it was the hydro dig.
So we have a hydro dig sitting in the yard.
That's a hydro dig, correct?
Hydraulic excavator,
Yeah,
Okay,
and it is in your yard, I'm assuming.
so there will not be two pieces of equipment.
No, it's one.
No.
We didn't pay anything last year. Now that they have a certain amount of money for equipment, now they can purchase it. They're not gonna give it to us and then wait a year. That's called a lease. We didn't enter into some sort of lease agreement, and they haven't been using this piece of equipment for a year, so they got an extra year out of their loader, and hopefully they're gonna fix it. Possibly, the transmission is completely shot on it, from what I understand.
And the welds are being re-welded and re-welded.
With Norm, the mechanic may fix it if they deem as a group that it's worthy of being fixed. Cause
Well,
it's not that old.
I think it would just be helpful if the piece of equipment was always referred to
Yeah.
as the same rather than as two different pieces of equipment. When I think of an excavator, I don't think of what that hydro dig thing looks like.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can correct me at any point in time when I'm referring to it. That's just how it was referred to me this time. I actually called to get the wording. And I knew it was the same piece of equipment. So that was my biggest concern, making sure it was not something brand new that nobody talked about.
What is the cost of it?
I want to say it was like 150 something, and then there's for the mower head, the extra piece, it's so for everything. I want to say it's like 179. It's on the current warrant.
179, and that's what was approved at the, well.
I don't
was
believe
left.
that was exactly what was approved, but,
No.
I mean, there was the expectation that it would be about 175, so that will just be less or more, depending on how that works out for the next piece of equipment, because again, that next piece, that first piece of the next truck, if he doesn't have enough money, he can't buy that either. It's not like we're gonna go and start committing to building that without all. the
Maybe
funding.
you could explain to me, why do we not approve a piece of equipment until after we have the piece of equipment?
I would do, not recommend that process, and I'm not recommending it now, however, the loader died, so that's the agreement that they came up with to not have to wait. And the company doesn't know that we're meeting tonight, the risk is on theirs. The money was budgeted, we provided, the budget, so. It's unlikely that they are going to take back on it, and then worst case scenario, we'd be paying rent for a piece of equipment that we've been using.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any other discussion? One more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All right, motion passes. Consent agenda?
Make a motion, we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, old business,
So.
allotment of funds for other public safety. Do we have a motion? For the allotment of funds?
Before you
Yep,
make a
got it.
motion, I will be recusing. Moosehead Valley Fire.
I will also be recusing. I'm on the executive board of Station 3.
We have to wait for him to fill that out.
Mm, If you need to wait for them to leave the tape.
I can ask the question.
Better safe than sorry.
Close to.
Oh.
All right, I will make that motion. I move that the town council allot the following funds. $5,000 to South Forster Fire Department, fulfilling their total funding request of $17,500. $10,000 to the firefighters incentive pay program to be distributed at a rate of $15 per call. $35,000 to the engineering board to be used for public safety purposes with expenditures subject to signatures of the fire chief of South Forster, Moosehead Valley, and Forster Center companies.
We have a motion and a we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? The only question I have is, the fire chiefs. Should that be part of the engineering board to make that decision, or should be the fire chiefs?
Well, yeah,
I mean, it's the fire chiefs that are. Do we?
we made that.
Capital,
It's
is it the,
usually the fire chiefs who give me they'll email me, they'll sign.
Do that for the capital,
We
right?
need,
For the
we-
capital, so.
Right.
It would be the
Okay.
same process, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, is that?
we need
Stuff
an
in the same
email
process, Cap.
saying they're accepting what the engineering board's doing.
To spend the
Email.
funds.
They could sign the invoice that they send in, they know that I accept any kind of
Okay.
method of communication. that
That
states.
was the only,
I'm just increased the allotment to 17.5, right?
yep.
Chris, can I have that copy?
You can have that copy.
From what it was, so we gave them, I wanna say it was 12.5, so it would
Yep.
be 5,
It'll
okay,
be.
and
yep.
then
And I believe the
10,000
10,000
for the
was the request,
For the incentive.
for the incentive program
not to,
with the $15
with a
per
$15
call,
max.
max per call. Yep, that was requested.
Yes,
Budget,
during the
yeah,
budget,
I have a
okay.
letter for that one.
And then
The balance would go to engineering board.
the engineer, that line in that
Line item in the
department,
engineering,
the work,
correct.
that department, okay, got it.
Yep.
So I wanna say it's about 30.
That was 35.
35, there's 35 for engineering.
Because I think they're
Should-
short 5. You're giving an extra 10, that's 15, okay.
Yeah, 35 is 50, and then 50 was the amount that was
Okay.
moved over to fire other.
With the 10,000, if it was not used in this fiscal year, are are you going to do a resolution so that it would remain rather than be returned?
You can do it as
I,
part of your,
so the incentive program being a line item, if it's not used, it should go to capital,
Mm.
right?
it would go into fund balance and anything.
fund balance,
Anything
yeah.
in excess of, any surplus.
The percentage of-
10% goes into capital, correct. So say our budget went up $500,000 this year, we need $50,000 to increase our rainy day fund to fund balance, to 10%. So we, just by natural, you know,
Right.
business, generally, we have that 50,000, so that would eventually roll into capital. Not
Okay.
capital reserve for them in particular, but capital.
Just capital,
Budgeted.
right, just like every other
discussed.
department.
Yes,
Did that resolution have to be done with this motion, or can we make the resolution?
No, you'd have to make it at the financial. town
Right.
meeting.
Oh, that's right, yeah, it's a resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do that the next financial.
as long as somebody reminds me, because I have a list of.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea
Yeah,
to keep it in that line item so we don't lose it.
no, I think if that was the intent, just to make it clear so that everybody understood.
Incentive
what you
pay,
guys-
so it's,
yeah.
yeah.
If they don't use
Yeah,
it.
so that's
Yeah,
right.
something, yeah,
If that's the case, it would be easier simply because it's only August. And a lot happens between August and May
right.
to make that intent known now.
Right. You
Right,
can
as part
amend
of
the
the- That's
motion
okay.
to say that, you can amend the motion to add that 10,000, if unused, if there's any portion unused at the time of the next financial town meeting, that there would be a resolution that it would remain, basically on the same terms.
On the same terms.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we need to do a motion.
You can just say,
I see.
so amended,
So amended.
and then somebody second it.
All right, so amended.
Second.
All right, second, all right. Any other discussion? Yes, Mr. Rathman?
Dave Rathman, Hopper Pike. I'd like to. This is a huge opinion of the 2019, I believe you've seen this, Tony, you might not have seen this. Kelly, I know you're well aware of this one.
Mhm.
And
It's been attached to Sugar Sink, I believe, the last time we brought it up. Mhm.
that was last year, was the last time we
Yeah.
brought it up.
When it was on one of the agendas, it was attached to, We
We
included
discussed
pictures.
this last year,
yes, you did,
right?
but they
And
have it
they-
in their folders more recently in the
Okay.
last couple months. Mhm. This is what we discussed, Joanna.
Yeah.
Do Do you actually have an extra copy so I could refer to it? Yeah, if you don't mind. Because that's probably gonna, yeah. Thank you, and I don't. Yeah.
I know what, I know what,
Give it to her, yes,
I
I
know-
can give this for her.
I know the
packet.
gist of what it says.
Okay,
The legal opinion states that each line item under other public safety should be voted on individually, not grouped in as one public safety item. We discussed this last year and they stood by their legal opinion that said the $879,000 at the bottom was incorrect. Each item should be voted on individually because it's a contribution to each individual fire company.
I don't remember them standing by
I
that,
do.
but they,
Specifically,
with their vote, not saying they agree with it, because Joanna wasn't here,
whoever it was.
right?
Who
And
was-
Julia wasn't familiar with the,
Julia read it and stood by the opinion.
but I've spoken with Joanna since then, and that was very specific, because that was specific to, I believe it was the training.
Well,
one
I
that they
guess
were
I'm
talking about.
I'm not sure what the question is. I don't necessarily think that what's being done here is in conflict with the opinion in the letter.
It is. Because the motion was made at the financial town meeting to add money to individual departments.
But you are not a.
Line
department,
item,
and you
each line
stated-
item
Like,
was added.
my discussion with
and-
you, Joanna, you said that they were not a department.
Yeah.
And that you had stated that in this letter, that they are not an actual department of the town,
Correct.
correct?
So you can't move things around. This was issued because after the financial town meeting, there was a request to move money as if it was a singular department, and that wasn't what occurred, but this there was the vote at the financial town meeting was to reallocate and then allow the town which then allows the council to allocate the funds accordingly as they're doing at this meeting. They're kind of two different situations.
I don't think I agree with that. Based on what I have read and researched and learned and heard in the previous meetings is according to that, each item that comes up in the other public safety, which is not a town anything, it's not a DPW, it's not the police station, it's not the town clerk's office, it's everything's all grouped into one, and that's incorrect. Each one should be voted on individually. Each item, each fire station, each item should be voted on individually. So for you to take the money and roll a dice and throw a little here, a little there, a little there, you're going against the will of what the people at the town meeting were voting for and what they were under the impression would happen. Someone stood up and said, we want to allocate $30,000 to South Forster Fire. We want to allocate 20,000 to EMS.
And the
I
moderator
think-
told us,
Yeah, the moderator stopped that.
Right,
And the moderator
couldn't
said
tell
that,
us where to spend the money.
right.
right.
Yeah, at the.
But he's wrong. And I've had a discussion with him about this too. And he says he does this for the convenience of running the meeting correctly, quickly is why he does that. So I think you're doing this wrong, and I think you really need to come up with something a little better than this. And I'm also gonna ask, under what authority does the engineering board have to vote on anything? What bylaws do they have?
It still has to go to the council.
But
So
what
when they
authority
do-
does the engineering board?
I agree, the council
Okay,
gave them
you
the authority.
cannot subject them to say, you guys figure out how to do it. They have nothing that says
Steve, a previous council gave them the authority.
where.
Denise
Give-
is
Yeah.
actually here, but Denise's council during her tenure.
Yeah.
They gave them the authority. We came up with a policy that
'Cause
if they want to spend any money that's for them jointly,
Yep.
they need the approval of all three, and then it goes to the council. You're given the notice that
Right,
all.
so that's
So they don't just say yes, and then I go and
Where-
spend it.
right.
Where,
Then it goes on the agenda.
Where is this?
You're another.
and where is there any
It was
bylaws
during one
that,
of the meetings.
where is there any mention of the engineering board in the town charter? And
I
how
don't
it is
disagree,
written?
which is why they're.
Well,
not
then
an
how can we
actual
just say
department.
we're gonna let them allocate money?
because they're saying that they did that. That's the council. They could turn around and say, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. They could,
We
You're
did
not
that
the
because you
engineering
guys
board.
couldn't agree.
right.
Who? The fire departments. That is true. That's why we did that.
So Denise is here, but so what happened was a lot of the money for training, so some of the departments didn't know about it, and they started to say like, I didn't know that they were spending the money for training. And then they would put it in at the bottom of the ninth, say in June or whatever, and some of the money was gone. This was years ago when the training money was actually, it's not really used as often anymore, but when it was. And then I'd gone to Denise or somebody at the time and asked that we have some sort of a policy on how we're gonna spend joint money. So during one of their meetings, that was the policy. And it's not that once you guys all agree, that then I just go and write a check. Once you've agreed, that's the start of it. And then the next portion is it goes on the agenda through a warrant, and then it's processed just like all of our other expenditures.
Get up and say it.
That's the process. They gave you that. And it's not defined anywhere else. So if a group, a body is not, their authority is not defined anywhere else, the council
What,
gives them or takes away that authority.
what authority even governs the engineering board? There is zero.
There
in the
is
charter.
nothing except for what I know of, which is what the council did, and no other council has reversed that. I mean, they could reverse it and say, well, no, we wanted to follow a different plan. It's entirely possible, and then that's the plan we would follow. But you need some sort of procedure for money. Otherwise, what would prevent, you guys now have, say, 700,000, I'm making that up, right? $700,000 in capital. Foster Center could come in and say, we're, in our opinion, the next truck to be purchased was ours. And that was true several years ago. And that's what really kind of started this, was because on one of your lists, they were like, you had a list of like equipment and what was next to be purchased. And I didn't think, based on things that I was hearing, that I should just process that because they simply put it in. So I'm the one who asked for some sort of procedure so that we were all on the same page. And at that time, I believe I spoke to Gordy, and I believe I spoke to Paul and whoever, that third, Bill Paul, and I said, this is, come to the meeting. There were 4, you're right. And somebody from Foster Ambulance Corps. It was either Ginny or I don't recall who it was at that time. It could have been actually Tom, but regardless, we had a whole conversation about it and we created a policy. And that was what actually started that policy, was capital. And that policy followed through for all purchases that were.
Where is this written policy?
It's not
I
written.
would
It
love
was
to see.
discussed and voted on at a council, during a council meeting.
And that's, so it would be in the minutes?
It
Yep,
should
of the
be. It was
meeting?
several years
Yep.
ago.
Okay.
It was several years ago. And some of you must remember that. You, correct.
So the gist of.
I remember ever going to a street. I thought this was just an agreement to have, and
Yeah.
it wasn't because we couldn't agree, it was we see something.
Yeah,
We need some,
Well, then that's what happened, because you need 4 signatures back then, and you didn't agree, you wouldn't get 4 signatures.
right.
I know.
I know where you're going, I'm not saying you. Well, you are as far as agreement.
Right. It was the capital. It's the capital that started and what the next capital item to be purchased was. That's what started it. Denise is here. I mean, she might have a better recollection
Mr.
than
Frank.
me.
I yield.
Thank you. What I recall, it wasn't so much of the training as it was for the equipment. And honestly, I felt like Kelly and I had talked about it. I felt like I didn't know what truck needed to be replaced and what truck would be appropriate. So I believe I went to the engineering board at one point and said, this is what we'd like to do. Was it difficult to get 4 signatures? Yes. And then we realized, well, wait a minute, but we thought it was the best way. They were the experts as far as we were concerned, with who needed what equipment. They were the ones. We didn't realize at that time that getting signatures from all 4, at that time it was 4, would be as difficult as apparently it is now. But that's why we instituted it. And it's not a policy. It was just in the minutes where we discussed it. And
Yeah.
I had previously gone to an engineering board meeting and said, this is what I'd like to propose.
There's a board in town that has the ability to spend $1 million on a fire truck. Shouldn't there be some kind of policy that says this is what they are able to do and the procedure to do it?
Please speak up.
I mean.
They don't.
They don't.
Well, they still have to come to the town council.
Yes. the
Right.
council-
Yeah, they're still gonna come to the town council.
Just
Right.
like the planning board does
That's-
not have a final say. They make recommendations.
Right, so you guys,
And the
that,
engineering board
Right.
makes a
that's
recommendation.
documentation and proof
Thank you.
that this process is taking place and then it goes in front of the council.
It still has to come to
Council's not
council.
gonna override what you've all agreed on, so,
Alright,
right?
So,
Right.
so I'd like to stay out of the capital part of this then, because
It's-
I really did not intend to get to that point. My issue is with the 50,000 that was allocated at the financial town meeting, and it was 30,000 and it was 20,000. And why the council has decided that they don't want to do that. I would like an explanation on why. Because from what I've heard, conversations have been had that the money was gonna be allocated the way it was presented at the financial town meeting.
So 50,000 is obviously the bottom line number, right? So that's,
Correct.
and it's our prerogative to put it anywhere inside that and on line items. With that 30,000, it gives the opportunity. First, I want to fulfill the requests initially. So the request was another 5,000 for South Foster, which we did. I had a request for 10,000 for the incentive program, which we did. And the balance, we were trying to figure out where should the balance go? And give the opportunity to all the departments to utilize that money. That's what we chose to do, instead of splitting it across the board. Okay, there were departments that didn't ask for anything. They're not getting anything. It's going to the engineering board, right? We didn't say, okay, well, you didn't, because there were past times that what happened was they split it evenly. I didn't agree with that. Some other councils didn't agree with that. So we weren't going to split it evenly to people that didn't even ask for the money. So if they don't think they need it and they didn't ask for it, why should they get it? That was my approach. So we put it in a department where anybody can use it based on needs of the service, instead of putting it on the bottom line of any department, including South Foster. That's why we chose it. And we're following what is already in place with the capital, where you had the signatures. And I think that's why we put the signatures on there. So all three can approve, because the engineering board, like you said, doesn't have that type of authority. There's no board there that votes on things, and that's not what it's there for. So that's why we put it. Yeah.
Kind of silly that there isn't
Well, I know, and that's something different.
Well.
something that.
None of the boards have that. It'd be like
Well,
saying to the building committee that they have,
they-
they have an amount that they're working with, but they don't have the final authority.
You can't, yeah.
It's still not final authority. Either way, it wouldn't be final authority.
For the planning board, there's rules, there's a structure, there's a policy, there's guidelines for the planning board and for the building committee and for that, and that, but there's
Right.
nothing.
Well, not for the building
That's-
committee. The planning board is a board that was created by the charter. That's why there's
Yes.
different regs for that.
Right. And there's anything associated with the building committee that's just done at a council meeting, and again, could be on or whatever, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So the way I still stand by the fact that the way I read that legal opinion, you're doing this wrong. Every item in there should now be voted on at the financial town meeting. And I think that's the way that legal opinion was written, and I think that's the way it should be carried from now on. I'll stop. Right.
Do we have any other discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes. Rejoin the table, please.
You did make that, okay, right? So moved, okay. Great, thanks.
Building, new business, building zoning official resignation. I have a letter here from Mr. Dumont I will read. Dear esteemed members of the town council, after careful consideration and in light of an unexpected health concern, I have made the difficult decision to retire from my position as the town's building and zoning official effective immediately. Rather than waiting until September as originally planned, it has been a true honor to serve alongside all of you, and to be part of the exceptional team at Town Hall. This has been one of the most rewarding and enjoyable work environments of my career. I have deeply appreciated the professionalism, teamwork, and camaraderie that define this workplace. The cooperative spirit here has consistently made it possible to accomplish our goals efficiently and effectively. While I will sincerely miss working with each of you, I am also looking forward to the opportunity for rest and more time with my family as I move into retirement. With gratitude and warmest regards, George C. Dumont.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of George Dumont. I hate to say with regret, but with well wishes to him.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Building zoning official appointment. Mr. Greenleaf? Hello, how are you? Hey. We had time to look over the resume.
Yes.
And we spoke with him.
Yep.
Are there any questions, Mr. Greenleaf?
No, I just like to say that we were able to meet with Mr. Greenleaf over Zoom, Steve and myself and Kelly. And we had an interview, kind of an informal interview, but a lot of discussion, and his credentials are outstanding. And
His references were very, very,
Yep.
very good.
yes,
Strong.
and the hours that he can put in they fit in with what our needs are. And he does have some familiarity with Foster and Foster. So I am comfortable with this appointment.
No.
I'll entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Greenleaf, building and zoning official for the town.
And the start date was September.
What were you,
I
Steve was gonna look into it?
had it written down.
It was 45 days after the
45 days
29th.
after the 29th.
Right. I had.
So it's gonna be closer to October 15th, right? Right around there.
Oh, was.
And we did
okay.
speak with the person who's currently filling in, and he seems to be fine. Everything seems to be going pretty well with him from a building
Okay.
Okay.
official standpoint.
So with,
Uh,
how many hours are we? 28?
I think it was 18.
18.
Oh, 18.
18
All right, I've got
hours.
my 8,
I'm slipping into the same arrangement that
right, that George was then.
George had.
Okay.
Yep.
And all right, and so starting October 15th?
If that's a weekday, I don't have my,
As soon as he's legally able to and still collect his pension from the state of Rhode Island.
Yep.
Okay. They have.
So you probably don't need a date.
Okay, so no date.
No date.
All right, so I'll make a motion to appoint Stephen Greenleaf as the building and zoning official for 18 hours per week. Commencing at his earliest date after retirement.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Opposed? All right, welcome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good board, Steve.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Next item. 250th semi-quincentennial commission resolution.
Okay, I've got it. Let me get to this is the resolution. Oh, you printed it out. All right, I have it on here. Okay. All right, this is Town of Foster, State of Rhode Island, Resolution number 2025-03, forming a 250th semi-quintessential commission. Whereas the Town of Foster recognizes the significance of the upcoming 250th anniversary of the United States of America And whereas the town of Foster has a rich history deeply intertwined with the ideals of freedom, equality, and independence. And whereas it is important to celebrate and commemorate this history and promote civic pride within our community. And whereas the town of Foster seeks to participate in actively planning and organizing events, activities, and initiatives to honor Rhode Island's contributions to the United States founding principles. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Foster Town Council as follows. Section 1, Establishment of the Foster 250th Commission. The town of Foster hereby establishes the Foster 250th Commission, which shall be active for a period from August 14th, 2025 to December 1st, 2027. Section 2, Composition of the Foster 250th Commission. The Foster 250th Commission shall consist of 6 board members as follows. 1 member shall be appointed by the town council. 3 members shall represent the Foster Preservation Society, the representatives to be appointed by the town council. 1 member shall represent Foster Recreation, the representative to be appointed by the town council. 1 member shall represent the Foster Elementary School, the representative to be appointed by the town council. Section 3, Responsibilities of the Foster 250th Commission. The Foster 250th Commission is tasked with the following responsibilities: to plan and organize events, activities, and initiatives that celebrate and commemorate Rhode Island's historical contributions to the ideals of freedom, equality, and independence as we approach the nation's 250th anniversary. To promote civic pride and local history awareness within the town of Foster. To collaborate with relevant organizations, institutions, and community groups to achieve the Commission's goals. To engage in fundraising efforts to support activities that promote civic pride and acknowledge local history, including decorations, events, and activities. Section 4, Funding and Support. The Commission shall request from the Town Council during the January 2025 municipal budget process to support initial planning incidentals and cover printing of brochures or press materials to support the activities and initiatives of the Foster 250th Commission. Section 5, Reporting and Accountability. The Foster 250th Commission shall provide progress reports and/or meeting minutes to the Town Council on a quarterly basis, outlining their activities, expenditures, and progress toward their goals. Passed as a resolution of the Foster Town Council this 14th day of August, 2025.
You have the, yep.
Oh, you got. Okay. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2025-03, forming a 250th quintessential, I can usually say it, semi-quintessential commission.
We have a motion.
So moved.
Good. We have a second?
Second.
Second? Okay, any discussion? Just on the resolution? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, passes. Now with that, we are looking for volunteers. We are a little behind with volunteers, especially for this. I wish we got this started a little earlier. But let's get going now. So we're looking for obviously preservation, you know, with all the knowledge of the town and the history. That's why we have 3 volunteers right from preservation. So if anyone's here from preservation that wants to bring that back to their committee and okay. You know, and see what we have for volunteers.
I think it's September 2nd.
Okay. Yeah, and just let me know if there's people there that want to volunteer to be on this committee.
Recreation.
Yeah, recreation. We need 1 member from recreation and 1 member from the elementary school. Like I said, we're a little, I believe we're behind on this. The 200th anniversary, every town had a parade. So there's gonna be a lot of suggestions that come forward. I'm not saying we have to have a parade for the 250th, but I want this to be a big deal.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're gonna definitely work with the committee and make sure that we make sure this is successful. And we celebrate correctly. So with that, I'm asking for volunteers, so send your letters or emails to the town clerk. And she'll let us know.
Doing this since 2024.
I know. And that's what I found out after.
We're behind the 8 ball.
That's why I'm saying we're behind.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a little while, so, but let's start now. So let's get this committee together and, hopefully we have volunteers that want to do it.
I'd like to volunteer for that, Steve.
Okay.
You're gonna wait till next meeting?
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna
appoint it?
see who sends in a request to volunteer and then, we'll go from there. All right. Do you have any comments on the 250 without actually planning the whole thing right now in front of everybody? Other than that, you know, if there's anything you want to add, yeah.
Just have a request.
I'm sorry, Ms. Ryder. Just for everyone else to hear.
Since preservation heard of this, we have been trying to find the script of a play that was done
I heard
for
that.
the town's 200th, 200, 300?
I think
whatever.
before that.
Well, in
That's-
1981, they had a big
Also was.
celebration, yeah.
76 was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So because we weren't a town in 76, we could just say, sorry, we didn't exist because we didn't exist until 1781.
Yes.
But so at that time, in fact, we have scrapbooks that show, you know, the people that were involved. There was this big play. There was a lot of this. We just cannot, I mean, we look down the list of people and most of them are dead. And we can't find the script for the play. That was not part of what preservation did. From what I gather, preservation did something about the townhouse. But it did exist, and if anybody knows anybody.
So I had a conversation with the, I wish I had his name. He's with the state archives.
Mhm.
And I was asking, I had a ton of questions about Foster and what they had there. They have a lot of information there. I'm sure you
They
utilize
do.
them. It's possible they may have
They
something.
might have the
They have
script.
this stuff there that you wouldn't believe they have. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
there's
It's
a lot of
amazing.
stuff there.
It's
But I
amazing.
spent a long time there,
Yeah.
you know, talking with him.
But again,
Steve, his name's Steve.
ah,
Yeah.
you know, if, what do you call it? Swamp Meadow Theater wanted to get involved or whatever, but we just don't have, we have a program, but we don't have.
Okay.
people.
Yeah, that's a great idea though. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Has like a small. One big thing.
So I'd like to, I don't know about, I don't know. I kind of. I kind of like to keep it separate. Obviously, if other people don't agree with that and the committee comes back and says it's better to combine it, I think there's just so much history here. And I know they have it too. I do want to coordinate with them because I don't want to overlap things. So if they have something going on a Saturday of whatever, you know, I'll say, oh, what do you have? Okay, I won't do it. We won't schedule that day. We'll do another day, just so everyone has an opportunity to go around the state. It's just, I don't know, in my opinion, I think we should keep it separate. We have a grant opportunity that the committee can, you know, request to put in. Did it actually?
I don't know if it gave us
I
an.
don't know if it had an amount, but they have a separate fund.
Yeah.
RI 250 has a fund
Mm.
aside for a grant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, once the committee's put together, right, we can show that we're actually correct. And with some,
Grant for, to a matching grant, maybe we can't do that, maybe it's because you can.
I actually don't think it is.
No,
Does it say that?
said, yeah.
It is? Okay, all right.
no,
All
it
right,
said
we'll have
you
to-
could, depending on how much you wanted,
Right,
so
Mm.
it depends what we're gonna do.
We'll have to.
right.
look
And
more
I
into
think
the
we, you know, I think when we apply, if we apply for that grant, that we should have something already on the table.
Mm.
Like, this is what we're thinking of doing. This is
Okay.
what our committee put together because they're not gonna, you
Yeah.
know.
So we're gonna have prices and everything.
Right, exactly. So it's gonna be, you know, and like I said, we are behind. We are behind. Okay, okay.
last it's. Yeah. Volunteers.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we have to stick to 6. I mean, sometimes too many volunteers is not a good idea, but I do too. That's what I'm saying. I don't think, I think we don't have to like adhere strictly to 6 people. Right, okay. Yes. There you go.
It's, yes, separate, yeah.
It's.
Together. You got to say
Guess
this.
what?
There you go.
Organization does their
Yeah.
own thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes.
obviously discussing it, but then comes together. Look at the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just because we said, like Mr. Rogers said, I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
if Rex says we have 5 people that want to volunteer to help, that's fine. You have one
Plan your-
chairperson for that rec side, and
Yes,
we can
yeah.
do it that way. That's
I think
fine.
that,
Yeah.
I think that. works
Preservation,
tonight.
if all preservation wants to get involved, we're not gonna say, no, you can't volunteer. That's not
Right.
gonna happen. But
Somebody-
just someone that we have, right, well, that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's really kind of what this is for, but
Mhm.
you can get as many volunteers as you want. I don't think we should limit anything, especially when it comes to
I
volunteers.
don't either. It's just that it said 6 in
Yeah.
there, so I wanted to say that I don't think we should
Yeah.
be strictly adhering to that.
Right, any more discussion? There's no action to take on that. It was just
No,
an
No.
announcement. Any other discussion on that? No? Okay. All right. New business. Oh, police station groundbreaking.
ah, yes.
So we are definitely having a groundbreaking. I don't know if you've driven by, but we have the trailer dropped off there now. That's a good sign. So we are moving forward. We don't have a date yet on when they're actually gonna start excavating. But it's right there. It's right there. I just wanted to bring this forward because I want people to know that we are gonna have a groundbreaking. And it's gonna be open, obviously, to all the residents of the town. And I plan, as long as the council's okay with it, to do it our way. It's Foster. So it's a little different than like if you're going to another town where they buy 5 of these silver shovels and everyone, no, Foster, I want everyone to bring their shovel from. Bring your spade shovel from home. I don't want a fake pile of dirt. Don't draw me a piece. I'm gonna dig a hole. I'm gonna put a shovel in the ground. We're gonna dig a hole, and I'm not gonna have pretty hard hats and stuff like that. But I want to do it Foster way. But we are gonna have a groundbreaking because this is a big deal. The committee has worked very hard
Yeah.
getting to this point.
Yes.
And so we do have to celebrate the groundbreaking, and we're going to.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not, I just don't have the exact date. So we are gonna do it. I just want to bring that forward. Is there any other discussion on that? That's really all. it was.
No, I mean, once we get the date, Sue can probably send out an email blast and let people know when it's going to be and what we have planned for it.
Yep.
If we're gonna have a food truck or something.
Yeah,
there.
well, definitely, yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I think,
Well, if it's sooner rather than later, I'd like to have it during the week,
yeah,
like after work time frame.
you've got weekend activities right now still going on.
So that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
You know.
But we were talking about it, Steve and I, and if it gets too late we gotta see when
No.
it's going to happen because you don't want to have it like on a weeknight if it's getting dark at 5.
It's not gonna get too late. We're going soon.
We're going soon. All right. So we don't have to worry about that.
Any other discussion, questions on that? No? Okay.
Snow to get to.
No,
Don't jinx it.
no.
Yeah, well, that's gonna happen.
Mhm.
All right, next item, DPW paving project. As you can see, Payne Road, that's the one I have, Mr. Rogers here too. That is, one more coat on Payne Road and that'll be completed. And then South Killingly, I believe we have one more coat, Mr. Rogers, I'm not sure, yep. I think we're one more thing to do there.
Payne Road looks amazing.
45 highway director. South Kennelly is a 3-part process.
Well, that's what.
Yeah, it's emulsions, takes the small cracks, seals them up,
Yep.
crack seal them with the big cracks. We just swept it off. The stone's coming in. Tomorrow, they're gonna crack seal it the 25th of this month, and that's the final process on that. Payne Road, they'll be in Saturday
Saturday.
to do the final course on the top layer. They're not thinking they get the whole thing done.
Okay.
But they're getting most of it done. Hopefully they can. It's gonna be about 1,100 ton top coat.
Yeah. Neighbors. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, Payne Road looks great. Change the intersection at East Killenly. It's definitely more efficient. It's more in line with the rest of the roads we have now. You're not gonna have any confusion on which way you turn into Payne Road. It's a lot better. Yes, that's right.
I just wanted to mention, as far as South Killingley goes with the gravel and everything that gets put on it and everything, besides the neighbors, could the community be aware? Because that impacts bicycles. And I know a lot of people
Yeah.
ride their bicycles out here or motorcycles. And
Yeah.
I know you put a little sign, but
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean,
clubs
we can-
have
Yeah,
plans
yeah, we'll do,
and they'd like to know.
yeah, we'll do an email blast on that. Thank you. Any more discussion on that? Okay. Lease agreement for police department communication equipment. Okay. So
Get in there.
have a contract here. Oh, here it is.
There's two components. to
Yeah, I
that,
wanted,
For the dispatch project and the mobile radios.
yep.
For the police cars.
So what I would like to entertain a separate motion, one for each. Even though the bottom line is total lease.
Mm. Sorry, Steve, I just lost my,
Yeah.
oh, wait,
Yeah,
it's
I got it, I
here.
printed it, it's
No, that's not the right one.
oh, here it is. That's the communication for the
Who's town?
police station.
Mhm.
And this one is for the mobile radios for police department.
Okay,
Two
and
separate,
so you want to do these two separate?
Yeah, I'd like to do them separate, just so we have them itemized on record, what they are. They're both through Goose Town, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a one
right.
bill. But I want to keep them separate just in case there are any changes going
Okay.
forward.
So I will, and I need to make a motion to allow you to sign this, right?
Yes,
Okay, so I will make a motion to approve the contract from Goostown Communications for the lease of Avtech radio communications equipment for dispatch center console in the amount of $4,106.99, and to authorize per month, and to authorize council president to sign the agreement.
Second.
motion in a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions? No questions? Anybody have any questions? No?
No, it's pretty
Okay.
self-explanatory.
All right, we have motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? All right, that section passes.
Okay.
Second.
Me.
Thank you.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the rental agreement, lease agreement for VM 8,000 rental of Kenwood EF Johnson Viking VM 8,000 series of radio all band in the quantity of it's $160 per month.
Second.
And to authorize the council president to sign the agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion in a second. Any discussion? Questions?
Just really needed, thank you.
We didn't vote yet.
Was part of the discussion.
So to be clear, this is gonna amount to a little bit less than what we've actually budgeted
Correct.
in for capital for leasing of this type of equipment. We're doing it now rather than later, even though the police station isn't built because they need to order.
Yep, it takes time.
materials.
We want it ready to go when the police station is built. Okay. So any other comments or questions? All right, we have a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right. Passes. Okay, item number 9, Rhode Island Housing's 2025 Municipal Technical Assistance Program Pipeline Track.
Hello, I am Jeffrey Poland. I am the Municipal Planning and Housing Fellow. I'm here to present to the Town Council as the executive governing body for approval of the Planning Department's submission of the Municipal Technical Assistance Program Pipeline Development Application, Grant Application. That's a bit of a mouthful right there. Ordinarily, I would be presenting this to you before we submit, but last month, as I had identified this grant and worked with the proper channels, I wasn't able to make it up to the town council agenda, so we just weren't able to the timelines didn't really match up. So that's why I'm here for your approval, following the letters of support from the department heads, as well as the town council president, Mr. Kaloush.
And just to clarify, there's no matching funds on that grant request. It's 100%.
Yes, yep. So with that said, I will provide a brief introduction for the council. Then just a brief outline of the grant, and then I will answer any questions that the council may have. So the pipeline development grant is intended to assist municipalities in identifying sites that for redevelopment as affordable units. So the department has identified 3 potential sites, 2 for my scope of work. That would be the Nike site, which is Plat 18, Lot 10. 0 Foster Center Road, which is Plat 11, Lot 55, and then another site which I've identified as part of a publicly owned inventory for the town, the one right across the way, 0 South Killingham Road, Plat 20, Lot 9, and we would be working with Leaper Planners, who is a consulting firm, and they would be working as the project managers for this particular grant. Rhode Island Housing actually stipulates that any municipalities who would apply for this grant have to work with consultants, approved consultants. I think it's meant to streamline process for municipalities who might be understaffed. I think it's also meant to be more efficient for consultants who are able to handle the workload, and then just to help municipalities, especially those who have not met their 10% mandate, which we are sorely in, we have not met, let's just put it that way. So all of those things combined, that's why we are working with Leaper Planners as a consulting firm instead of doing this ourselves. So that provides context for why we applied and how we applied. The grant itself allows for a site survey. Well, it's broken up into 3 parts. It's a site assessment, an impact analysis, and then a final report. So Leaper Consultant will provide a site assessment for each of the 3 parcels. They will determine the capacity of the land. So how much density can the land support? They will also identify any potential constraints to development, whether that's environmental, regulatory. So that process will take about 6 months to complete, and then they'll move on to their impact analysis, which should take about 4. Overall, it's a 12-month process. Their impact analysis will take into account financial impacts that potential developments would have, whether that's an increase in tax rolls, an impact on the environment, an impact on the overall infrastructure of the land. So it's a comprehensive approach to identifying the different housing typologies that are available based on our zoning ordinances and the capacity of our land to hold or to maintain such a development. Let's see. I believe this application was attached to this in SugarSync. So hopefully most of you have seen some of it. If not, that's why I'm here. The final report will provide a recommendation. It'll include an executive summary, key findings, site-specific analysis of constraints and opportunities, financial and municipal impact assessments, and then a clear actionable recommendation by Leaper Consultants. It doesn't commit the town to anything. I want to be clear on that. This is just for the town's ability to identify sites that it may or may not want for redevelopment purposes. The pipeline development specifies affordable housing, but I know that many people are apprehensive to the idea of affordable housing in general. I don't think that personally, I'm not sure that there's a market for affordable housing outright, but I do think there's a market for age restricted housing in this town. We have one age restricted development, Hemlock Village, which has a 3 to 4 year waiting limit, 100 people on the waiting list. So, and about 40% of the population is 55 and older. 55 is where elderly age restricted starts. So the older we get, the older this town gets, the more the need is, right? The greater the need is. And yeah, I think that this is a great opportunity for the town to be able to make that determination and move forward. It's a $70,000 boon, and there are no match requirements, as you had indicated, and Libra Consultants will take the entire workload. My understanding is that Rhode Island Housing will fund them directly, so there shouldn't be any issues with reimbursement. However, if it happens that there is some reimbursement, where that we'll have to report. Yes, I will take lead on that. I will coordinate with the finance director as well as Rhode Island Housing, anyone I would need to make sure that
That's on record.
that's on record.
Okay.
Yes. I will,
Okay.
I will coordinate with all the channels that I need to in order
Okay.
to ensure that
Appreciate that.
it's accommodated. Yes. So that's the gist of it, really, and that's you for your approval or decision. Ultimately.
Yep, I think it's great. I
Yeah,
think it's
thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for your efforts
Awesome
to get
job.
for that grant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions? Sorry.
Oh, anybody have any questions? No, thank you.
It's all good.
All right, executive session. Yep.
Okay, I move to go into executive closed session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5 for the discussion of personnel according to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A1, and to reconvene an open session and further to keep the minutes of said meeting closed and the minutes of all executive sessions held previous to this meeting be closed and remain to provisions of the Rhode Island, general laws of Rhode Island 42-46-4 and 5.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are now in executive session.